Hey everybody, Jared here. In this video I wanted to answer two questions I get asked pretty frequently. The first is, why is it that PPC Campaign Generator can't dynamically insert the keyword into the headline of the ad? And two, for some of the keywords when using modified broad match right here, this setting, why is it that it only puts plus signs in front of some of the keywords but not all of them? So I'm going to answer those two questions. So first, let's talk about the broad match question. So whenever you're using modified broad match, you usually want to put plus signs in front of the words within the keyword, and that tells AdWords and Bing Ads, this keyword must be in the search query, or they're very closely related singular or plural versions of it. So in PPC Campaign Generator, let me show you what happens. So cost. Let's just quickly create this group here. I'm just going to hit create group, and as you can see, it created an ad group called cost. Let's take a look at those keywords in that group. We can see approximate cost of remodeling bathrooms. Notice how the word of doesn't have a plus sign in front of it. If we just filter real quick, of, we can see the of throughout this entire list doesn't have a plus sign. And the reason for that is that PPC Campaign Generator won't put plus signs in front of words that you want to ignore. So in my case, I have the word of as a word I don't want. It's basically a stop word. So if you don't know what a stop word is, it's basically a very frequently occurring word that doesn't have a lot of meaning. So we're talking about words like to, of, on, in, a, for, the, those kind of things. If you wanted plus signs in front of these less important words, then what you could do, let's just delete the word of, save changes, and then if we go and look at our groups now, you might have noticed when I change that, it asks me this little pop-up here, do you want to regenerate your current campaign? If you say yes, then it's going to put the plus signs in front of the word of, because that's no longer a stop word. So, long story short, if you find a word that's not, if you want plus signs in front of certain words, make sure you don't add those words in the words to ignore area. So for example, I personally don't like to put stop words, plus signs in front of stop words, so I don't. But maybe you do, so that's how you can fix that. And two, a question I get asked quite frequently is, how do I use dynamic keyword insertion? I want to insert the keyword into the headline. So the problem with that is, ads belong to ad groups, right? This is an ad group. It's called cost. And inside an ad group, you also have keywords. So keywords belong to ad groups and ads belong to ad groups. The problem with saying I want to insert the keyword into the headline of the ad is you can't do that, because which keyword from this one ad group are you supposed to insert into the headline? That's the main question. As you can see, we have 77 keywords, and what would be inserted here? There's no way for the program to know which keyword out of these 77 to insert into this one ad headline. And so that's why PPC Campaign Generator uses the ad group parameter instead. So it inserts the ad group name instead of the keyword name. So hopefully that makes sense. And let me just go ahead. This group is called cost. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But just for demonstration purposes, let me actually quickly generate these ads. So I have two ads here, right? If I wanted to delete them, I just could click delete and they're gone. And then regenerate them again. I'm just going to put bathroom remodel cost. Cost and costs. Okay. So we have our two ads, and let me just go ahead and show you. If you wanted to have the actual dynamic keyword insertion parameter on the headline when you upload it to Google, for example. There's a real quick and easy fix. I'm just going to quickly import this into AdWords Editor here so I can show you how to do that. Keep proposed changes, then get the ads real quick, copy those. Paste. Done. Okay. So now we have our ad group, cost, and we have our ads here. So you might, if you're not familiar with PPC Campaign Generator, you have to put a budget, like let's just say it's $22, and then an ad group default bid, let's say $3, and then you can see those little red errors go away. So at this point we could upload it, no problem. But here's the ads, right? So what I want you to do is hit Control A, and that selects all the ads, then hit Control Shift H. And this is Append Text. So this allows you to append text to a certain field. In this example, we want to create a dynamic keyword insertion type headline. So what we could do is open bracket and then capital K E Y, capital W O R D. And what that'll do is it'll capitalize the first letter of each word. And we're going to append this to the beginning of the headline. So before existing text. And then you'll see these squigglies and this red arrow and all this stuff. Everything's broken. Not really. Just hit Control Shift H again. And now we're going to append the closing brace to the headline. And there you go. So what we've done is we've said dynamic keyword insertion. If the keyword here in this ad group, if it is 25 characters or less, insert it into this headline. Otherwise, use this default text here. And that's the quick fix. If you're really adamant on having actual dynamic keyword insertion on your ads. So hopefully this clears up some confusion. Thanks a lot, and I hope this helps.